The Frostbound Oath, Part 1. Whispers in the snow. The year was 1867, and the winter had swallowed the northern forests of Russia whole. Snow lay heavy on the roofs of Izborsk, a small, half-forgotten village near the marshes, where the trees grew close and dark, and the wind seemed always to be whispering. I had come there as an outsider, sent by a distant cousin to settle matters of inheritance after the death of an uncle I had never met. The estate was not much, just a timber house, sagging under centuries of frost, and a handful of barns tilting toward collapse. Yet something about the journey already felt strange, as though the forest itself disapproved of my arrival. The villagers received me with silence, faces pale, eyes downcast. They crossed themselves when I asked about my uncle. He was a man of restless dealings, one old woman said at last. But it was not fever that took him. She would say no more. That night, as the blizzard gathered, I searched the house. The air smelled of resin and damp earth. In the study, beneath stacks of mold-bitten papers, I found a locked chest. Its wood was carved with spirals patterns that seemed older than the house itself, older than the church that crowned the hill. The key lay on the mantel, as if left for me. Inside the chest were journals, bound in worn leather, filled with my uncle's hand. The entries spoke of hunger in the village, of children taken by sickness, of livestock drained of blood in the night. Then his writing turned frantic. It comes when the snow is deepest. It scratches at the walls. It remembers the oath I broke. I did not sleep. The wind howled through the shutters, and beneath it, I swore I heard scratching slow. Deliberately long the wooden boards, buff. At dawn, the storm passed, and I walked through the village. Smoke curled from chimneys, but the streets were barren. An old priest, bent like a broken birch, approached me. His cassock was threadbare, patched in places with furs. "Leave while the roads are still open," he told me. "Your uncle bound himself to something beneath the frost. We cannot bury him in consecrated ground. The forest has claimed him." When I pressed him, he gave me only a name, spoken with dread: Morocco. I had heard the fairy tales as a boy. A spirit of winter, a lord of frost, said to test men with gifts or death. But the priest's eyes carried no trace of fable. He spoke as one who had seen. That night, I returned to the journals. In the margins, scrawled in ink that bled like veins across the paper, was a single plea: do not follow the whispers in the snow. Do not listen when it calls your name. But of course, I listened. Near midnight, I heard it again, the scratching. I lit a lantern and stepped outside. The yard was blanketed in white. The wind had gone still, and there along the edge of the barn were marks. Not the claws of wolves, not the hooves of deer. These were long, thin grooves, almost like fingers, trailing from the barn toward the forest. I should have turned back. Instead, I followed. The forest loomed, its pines black against the snow. My breath froze in the air. Then I heard it, a woman's voice, soft, echoing between the trees. She spoke my name, once, twice, each time nearer. I raised the lantern. The light caught on something pale, a figure standing half hidden among the trunks. A woman, skin white as snow, hair black as ravens, eyes glimmering faintly like ice under moonlight. She was draped in tatters of a dress that might once have been fine, now stiff with frost. Her feet were bare against the snow. I froze. She lifted her hand, beckoning, and in that moment the cold cut through me deeper than any winter I had known. It was not the cold of weather, but of something vast and inhuman pressing close. Then she was gone. The trees stood silent, the snow unbroken. I stumbled back toward the house, heart hammering. At the threshold, I found something waiting, a piece of parchment pressed into the doorframe, not there before. Its surface was rough, as if made from bark, in charcoal black lines. The message was simple: the oath is not forgotten. Inside, the fire had gone out, though I had left it burning. My uncle's journals lay open, pages curling as though touched by frost. In the hearth, beneath the ash, something gleamed. I reached in and pulled it free. A ring of iron, crude and old, etched with runes I could not read. When I touched it, the room seemed to tilt. I heard footsteps in the snow outside, though no one stood there. The whisper returned, close to my ear now. Come deeper. I knew then that my uncle had bargained with something in these woods, and that his bargain had not ended with death, and I, fool or fated, was already entangled. The scratching began again, louder this time, at the very walls of the house. The sound of nails dragging slowly, insistently, across timber. I did not dare open the door, but I knew this was only the beginning, to be continued in Part 2, the Frostbound Oath, the hollow beneath the pine.